The transmission of folk wisdom through proverbs and idiomatic expressions is a linguistic and cultural phenomenon of great importance. Since ancient times, these expressions have represented a form of shared knowledge, originally passed down orally and later consolidated in written language. Proverbs, aphorisms, idioms, and set phrases are not merely conventional sentences. They are tools through which communities express values, rules of behavior, and worldviews. In this research, I explored the functioning and evolution of these linguistic forms, highlighting their structural features, rhetorical techniques, and the memory mechanism that have helped them endure over time. Particular attention was given to the terminological distinction between folk wisdom, proverbs, idiomatic expressions, and aphorisms, as well as their role in both oral and literary cultures. One of the central aspects of this thesis concerns the challenges related to the translation and interpretation of such expressions. Translating a proverb is not simply a matter of linguistic conversion, it requires a deep understanding of the cultural context and the pragmatic function of the expression. The challenge lies in preserving the meaning, the effect, and, where possible, the rhetorical form of the original. To achieve this, translators must consciously choose among different strategies, such as functional equivalence, cultural adaptation, or explanatory paraphrasing. In interpreting, the issue becomes even more complex. Interpreters must quickly decide whether to use an equivalent in the target language, rephrase the expression in a more neutral way, or, in some cases, avoid it altogether to ensure the message is understood. It is clear, then, that linguistic competence alone is not enough. Cultural awareness and specific training in elements such as realia, puns, and other untranslatable expressions are essential. An interesting element that emerged from the comparative analysis is the presence of many proverbial analogies across different languages. Although each culture develops its own ways of expression, common structures can be found that reflect universal experiences. Expressions like "the grass is always greener on the other side" or "don't look a gift horse in the mouth" exist, with slight variations, in English, Spanish, and German. These similarities show how folk wisdom, while rooted in the local, can also take on an intercultural character, which sometimes help translators find existing functional equivalents. One section of the thesis is also dedicated to the analysis of subtitling and dubbing techniques, fields in which the rendering of idiomatic expressions is often constrained by space and time limits. In such cases, audiovisual translators must balance fidelity and adaptation, using creative solutions that preserve the tone and rhythm of the original dialogue, without compromising the communicative effectiveness of the message. Lastly, I examined the impact of new technologies on the translations of proverbs and idioms. Despite the recent advances in artificial intelligence, machine translation systems still show clear limitation in handling idiomatic expressions. They often produce literal translation that makes no sense, as they fail to recognize the figurative or cultural meaning of an expression. For this reason, even in the context of language technologies, human intervention remains essential, especially to ensure the quality and coherence of texts. In conclusion, the study of proverbs and idiomatic expressions goes beyond vocabulary and grammar. It lies at the intersection of linguistics, anthropology, history, and translation studies. Translating folk wisdom means not only transferring words, but also interpreting words, and this requires both responsibility and awareness. It is precisely in this intersection between language and culture that the work of translators and interpreters is situated, making accessible, without distorting it, one of the most complex expressions of collective identity.